Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3. Looks like we are back live once again here at the Chuck Fruget Aquatic Center in Edwardsville, Illinois, as we get set here now for another heat in just a moment. First event, once again, is the 200-meter freestyle. Got a little issue with the scoreboard now, so they're working that out as we get set to go once again. So we're back on. We missed a couple of heats here. Little technical difficulty. We don't have our usual producer, Kevin Gurr, so Kevin is out enjoying the great weather around the St. Louis area and around the Midwest. Little baseball tournament with his son, so enjoy that while you can. We are here at the Chuck Fruget Aquatic Center once again for this Parkway Long Course Classic. My name's Matt Judkins. I'll bring you the action here all morning long as we get through these technical issues with the scoreboard here. We didn't get all the last swimmers registered here as we get set now for heat number 3. And again, as I described earlier, heat number 3 is going to go from left to right on your screen. So all the odd numbered heats will go from left to right. All the even numbers will go from right to left. And then all the 50s will start on the right side and go to the left side. As we get set here, we'll list off these swimmers in just a few moments. We just have 1 through 6. So we are continuing to try and work out all of our technical issues here with you. Just a moment. So hopefully everybody has a chance. They can now see the events. Can you hear the events? Moving again from left to right, it is lanes 1 through 6. 1 is at the bottom of your screen. That's Claire Petrie. Claire's from Parkway. She's an 11-year-old. Celine Chen is this lane number 2 from Parkway, a 12-year-old, as are Emma McCourt in lane 3 and Rachel Bolin in lane 4. Noah Brooks is in lane 5 from Parkway, and from Saluki, Reagan Lewis. She's an 11-year-old. Those are the competitors in this particular heat. This is heat number 3 of the 200 girls 12 and under freestyle. Again, we are going to do chase starts in this meet. So what does that mean? That means all the odd number heats will start on the left side of your screen. All the even numbered heats will start on the right side of your screen. As the last swimmer gets to half of the pool on the last length of the pool, the next heat will start from the opposite side. All 50s in these events will take place from the right side of the pool to the left. And that's how we'll round things out here this morning and throughout the rest of the day and the weekend here in this Parkway Classic. So we hope that you enjoy this. Again, 1 camera setup for this weekend as the weather turns nice and all of our children get into their various events. We will see what we can do. Top of your screen now, lane number 6. That's Reagan Lewis, the 11-year-old from Saluki. She has no previous time here. Long course, of course, no long course meets and events last year. COVID hit right as the long course season was getting ready to start. So a lot of these youngsters are either using times from just a couple of weeks ago. There's been several meets here at the Chuck Fruget Aquatic Center. Also the Saluki pool at Southern Illinois University. They also have a long course pool. So some recorded times already this year, but a lot of these youngsters this weekend will not have previously recorded times, or it goes all the way back to 2019 for that previous time. Lane number 3 are also really right there with her. That is Emma McCourt, the 12-year-old from Parkway. Now you'll watch this chase start here in just a few moments as McCourt and Lewis vie for first place in the heat. First one into the wall now. It will be McCourt with a time of 2:51.62. So nice job by Emma. Second place in that heat goes to Lewis. Now you're going to start. What we're going to try and do is we'll finish 1 heat. Then we'll announce the swimmers for the next heat. That will work out pretty well in these 200s. It'll be a little harder when we get to the 100s. And the 50s, I don't think we'll do chase starts. We'll have to wait and see how that all rounds out. Third place in that heat goes to Rachel Bolin. Fourth place to Claire Petrie. Fifth place in the heat to Chen in lane number 2, and rounding things out in lane number 5 as she comes into the wall here is Noah Brooks. Now let's go to heat number 4 again. Heat number 4, they're moving from right to left on your computer screen. Elam Fu in lane number 1. She's a 12-year-old from Parkway. 11-year-old from Saluki, Tyra Langstein. An 11-year-old from Parkway in lane number 3 is Willa Shank. Eviana Ganem for Parkway, she's just 9 years old. She'll be in lane number 4. Lana Thuston in lane number 5, and Blake Hall in lane number 6. Looks like lane number 6 is vacated as the dart team not here today from Arkansas. They had planned on it, but they were unable to make it, so no one in that lane. You'll also notice the top 2 lanes at the 2 lanes at the top of your screen are vacated. Those are for warm up and warm down. So that's part of the rules and the regulations. You have to have the ability for swimmers to do that, or you have to take long breaks between all of the events. So we don't want to really do that. We want to make sure these kids get to keep swimming. Oh, yeah. Continuing here on with heat number 4 now. They're going to touch the wall for one last 50. We've got another freeze on the scoreboard here, so we're trying our best to make sure we get all this sorted out. Looks like they're only registering the times up on the board now for the heats that go from left to right. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Typically, you might have a divided scoreboard or something along those lines to make sure that all the kiddos can see their recorded time. So we're not going to be able to bring you that. We'll do the best we can to sort this out and figure out who are the winners and losers, or at least the times that they come in. First one to the wall here will be lane number 5, and this one it'll be Lana Thuston, the 12-year-old from Parkway. Again, we don't have a time for her, but she will be the first one into the wall. Now we're going to start from left to right. Second one into the wall in this previous heat, number 4, lane number 3. That'll be Shank, followed by Thuston, by Langenstein. And then rounding things out will be Ganem. All right, now, left to right. Here we go. I'm trying to do this again. Addison Howard is in lane number 1. Gabby Green in lane number 2. Grace Hager in lane number 3. Kennedy Johnson is in lane number 4. Grace Honnold in lane number 5. And Tori Rees in lane number 6. We've got a couple of 10-year-olds in Howard and Hager in lane numbers 1 and 3. A couple of 11-year-olds, Johnson and Reese in lane numbers 4 and 6. Lane number 5 is a 12-year-old in Grace Honnold. And then there's the 9-year-old in this one as well, Gabby Green. She's in lane number 2. Honnold and Reese, they are from Saluki. The other 4 are from Parkway. First one into the wall on that first length of the pool was lane number 2. That was Gabby Green, the 9-year-old. She continues to be right there also with Honnold in lane number 5. Hopefully that picture is coming through nicely for you. Again, we are doing one wide angle lens, so I'm to do the best I can to describe all the action for you so we know what's going on. Again, when we are on the odd number heats, we are getting a clear time for each of the youngsters. On the even numbered heats, we'll figure that out with the scoreboard here as we go along, I'm sure. First one into the wall at 1:22.9. Halfway through this race is Gabby Green, the 9-year-old. She continues to lead the heat. Green's previous best time, 3:18.01. Of course, all these youngsters looking for their best times. Some of them trying to get their first double B. Some of them trying to get their first A. Some of them even going for that zones cut at the AAA. And we may even see a quad A today. We'll see how that works out. Again, first event today, there'll be 8 heats of the young ladies in this 200 fly, or 200 free, excuse me, followed by the 100 breast, 50 back, 50 free, and then the 100 fly. I'll round things out this morning. Now, if you're just joining us, we're doing chase starts this morning. What that means is, as these young ladies in the odd number heats touch the wall to the right and they get halfway back down the pool at about 25 meters, the next heat will start from the opposite side. Confusing for those swimmers. It took me about 3 years to figure out how this all works when my kids first started doing long course. So don't feel embarrassed if you can't figure it out. I'm only trying to describe it as best I can, but it may take a little while. First one into the wall here on this one will be lane number 2. That'll be Gabby Green. She is a 9-year-old, and she comes in at 2:47.67. Great time for her. Great drop for her. Second place in that heat goes to Honnold in lane number 5. Also nice improvement. 2:50. She was at 3:18 as well. So huge drops. Third place in that heat goes to Kennedy Johnson at 3 minutes, 3:06. Kennedy's previous best time was 3:17.34. And rounding things out, Reese, Hagar, and then Howard in lane number 1. Now, here we go, right to left on your computer screen now. Those swimmers just jumped in. They're in the even. Numbers, it's Peyton Robick. She's in lane number 1. Vika Anderson in lane number 2. Quinn Porter's in lane number 3. All 3 of those swimmers swim for Parkway. Robick and Porter are 11 years old. Anderson is 12. Jada Ankrum from Saluki, she's in lane number 4. Lane number 5 has Riley Moran, the 10-year-old from Parkway, and then Parkway's Shay Sek in lane number 6. A lot of shout-outs to a number of those parents. A lot of these young ladies have swam with my daughter over the years and played other sports with them. Of course, Peyton Robick, Riley Moran competed at the ISCA events in St. Petersburg just a few weeks ago as they rounded out short course, started getting into the long course, big-time event there. Congratulations to those ladies. Kennedy Johnson, who we saw a moment ago, was there as well. I want to give a shout out to good buddy Mo Sek, who's undoubtedly watching, or he's trying to tune into yet another Chelsea loss this weekend. But nonetheless, we want to say hello to Mo and Molly, good longtime parents of the Parkway program, and we'll see what we got going. Looks like we've lost our stream here slightly with the picture. Trying to get this back online. So we've had a little blackout here with the picture. Not sure if we've got a bad wire on the camera or what the deal is. As we continue to move forward, I will let you know right now, first place in this heat, lane number 2. That is Vika Anderson. Actually, I'm sorry, in lane number 1, it's Peyton Robick. She's at the bottom of your screen, if you can see it, as we continue to work through some of these issues that we've had thus far. Second place, again, Vika Anderson. Third place in this heat, lane number 5, Riley Moran. Looks like we're about to get our picture back here momentarily. There we go. Hopefully we're back online with everyone. You can see it once again. First one, again, into that wall. We don't have the times on there for the even numbered heats. Well, we got a picture for you again, folks, as we get ready for heat number 7 here. Robick finished first in that heat, followed in behind by Anderson and then Moran. Again, we don't have their times. They're not registering up on the scoreboard. We'll try and get those to everyone as quickly as we can. Claire Luna's in lane number 1. No one in lane number 2 for this particular race. Libby Price is in lane number 3. Natalie Gronberg in lane number 4. Madeline Tucker's in 5. Campbell McCool is in lane number 6. All Parkway swimmers. 10-year-old is Libby Price. McCool's 11. The other 3 are 12-year-olds. Of course, Libby Price, her mother Ruth, is running the meet this weekend. We want to say hi to Ruth and thank you for all the work that you've done. And, of course, right now, young Libby slightly ahead here in this first heat. Gronberg, lane number 4, right there with her. You see them right in the middle of your screen as they go through the reflection on the scoreboard.
I don't know if you want to announce it. So Meet Mobile is not updating because we're having issues with the school. So just in case parents are nervous, just say this person is down. It's not up.
Folks just got word from the scorers table that we're also having some issues with Meet Mobile. Don't fret, parents. Your youngsters' time will be officially recorded. They're doing that all here, but we're having an issue getting the server connected to Meet Mobile here. And we got some folks here from the Edwardsville School District working on that. All right, back to live action. We took care of a couple technical issues there. Libby Price right in the middle of your pool there, lane number 3. She's front running here in this heat number 7 along with Natalie Gronberg. She is in heat number 4. Now we're going to have that chase start here, just as we talked about a moment ago. Those in the even number heats, they'll be on the right side of your screen. They're getting ready to start. What we are going to try and do is bring you all the times. We'll read those down so people can get those and know exactly where their youngsters stand here as we get set for the next one. Rounding things out in this heat, again, Tucker, McCool, and Luna. Now, here are in our last heat. 5 swimmers in the pool. It's Aubrey Ackerman in lane number 1, Paige Blum in lane number 2. Lane number 3 is vacated at this point. Leah DeBosch in lane number 4, Kelby Funk in lane number 5, and Leela Herzl in lane number 6. First one to the wall on that first length, lane number 5, was Kelby Funk. She's a 12-year-old, swims for the Saluki program. Right in behind her, Leah DeBosch in lane number 4. Those two came in with the fastest 2 preliminary times here for this event. Actually, fastest 2. 2:37.20 for DeBosch and Funk 2:45.24. They're right there as they touch the wall halfway through this 200 free. Now following this one, we'll have 5 heats for the young boys, 12 and unders. Again, many of these youngsters vying for some of their first established times. Some of them looking to move up the rankings with A times, double A times, etc. Just to give you a note, these are all 11 and 12-year-olds. Triple A time in this 200 free for the young ladies, 2:05.99. Oh, that was short course. We'll have to get the long course for you. Funk, first one to the wall. She'll touch. She's about just a little bit ahead of DeBosch. Now we're having more issues with the scoreboard, so we won't get the official times on this one, folks. We'll be able to tell you how they came in. Again, we don't get that We don't get the time for those starting going from right to left. So all kinds of technical issues, but note, all of the times are being officially recorded. So the swimmers are all swimming with a purpose. First one to the wall again in this heat will be Funk, followed by DeBosch. Third place in the heat right now, lane number 2. That's Paige Blom. And neck right now for 4th and 5th. Ackerman and Herzl. Ackerman in 1, Herzl in lane number 6, top of your screen. And it looks like it will be Aubrey Ackerman as she rounds things out here in this one. All right, now we're going to get set for the boys. First heat for the boys. 3 swimmers. Lane number 1, Parker Robick. No one in lane 2. Tyson Brooks is in lane number 3. No one in lane number 4. Lane number 5 is Ryan Shalom, and no one in lane number 6. Robick is an 8-year-old. The other 2 are 10-year-olds, all from Parkway. No previously established time for these youngsters. Again, we missed a whole season of long course last year with the pandemic. So for many of these young kids, first time swimming in the long course pool and getting officially recorded times. We're going to do the best we can to bring you those times throughout the event, try and describe it as best we can. We're trying to work through some of these technical issues, one of which is connecting to the servers here at Edwardsville High School, where the Chuck Fruit Aquatic Center is located. And we've got the wide angle with you. You can see those youngsters right there. Maybe you zoom in on your computer or your phone, whatever it might be. First one to the wall on that 50-meter was lane number 3. That's Tyson Brooks. He's a 10-year-old, as we mentioned a moment ago, from Parkway. 10 years old as well. Top of your screen, that's Ryan Shalom. And then bottom of your screen in lane 1, Parker Robick. Parker just an 8-year-old. So we hope that this continues to come out to everybody. Again, first one to the wall, but catching him a little closer, Brooks, followed by Shalom, and then Robick. Just joining us here, we're doing what's called chase start. So we have official scoreboard times for everybody going from left to right in your odd numbered heats. If you're in an even numbered heat, you're going from right to left. That is not appearing on the scoreboard at this point. We will get that as soon as we can. For these youngsters, of course, trying to get those good established times. All 3 of these young men have not had an established time yet. So this will be a record for them as they come close to about 30 meters or so remaining on their last length. Once they get to about the halfway point in the pool, they will start the next heat from the opposite side of the pool. You hear the whistle there in the background with Brooks, followed by Shalom and Robick. All these young men looking to go under 4 minutes for their first time. They should do that. And then once they touch the wall, we'll round this heat out. Then we'll bring you the competitors for the next heat. First one into the wall. It's Brooks to the left side of your screen, followed by Shalom in lane 5, and then Robick in lane 6. All of them under 4 minutes, 3:40.66, 3:41.89, and 3:47.85. Great job to those young men. Now we're moving from right to left on your computer screen. Number of open lanes here in this one. No one in lane number 1, but lane number 2, that's Mitchell Stanley. He's from Parkway, an 11-year-old. Ryan Pinkerton right now with an early lead. He is in lane number 3, a 12-year-old from Parkway. No one in lane number 4, Thomas Van Alsten. He is in lane number 5, and no one in lane number 6. So Van Alsten, a 10-year-old from Parkway. Now, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a life hack. If your swimmer is in an even number heat, when they jump off that block, I suggest you put your timer on and you start that timer and you see how fast are they swimming. They're not registering that on the scoreboard. What we're asked to have is a readout of all the final times once the events are completed. There's some issues right now connecting with the network here at the high school. We're able to live stream because we're on a different network, but all the systems, the scoreboard, the link up to Meet Mobile, etc., is on the high school, has to go through the high school system. Once they get that worked out, we'll have that printout for you. What we'll also have is Meet Mobile Live, which is not live yet, but let me remind everybody, and let me assure you, all times are being recorded officially. The electronics here are working, and so we will have official times for all these youngsters. It will not be for naught, for sure. In this one right now, the young 12-year-old, Ryan Pinkerton, front running in this heat, followed in behind in lane number 2 by Mitchell Stanley. They're 12 and 11-year-olds respectively from Parkway. And then Thomas Van Alsten, top of your screen in lane number 5, being cheered on by his coaches. He'll round things out. Again, these 3 swimmers, all without a previously established time. We'll see that throughout the day. As again, we've been over a year now since a lot of these youngsters have competed in a long course event. Some of them in the last couple of weeks have, but that was kind of just getting back into it. Now they start to establish those times. Now they've had several weeks of long course type practice and training. Some of them have had the opportunity to practice in a long course pool. And that will continue to increase as we get closer to the summer. The temperatures warm up and more pools are open for long course practice. Now, just a quick shout out to everyone. Don't forget now, we're doing the best we can with our live stream here this weekend. Don't have my trusty partner, Kevin Girth, with us. Give him a shout out. He's out with other events with his kids this weekend. But like, share, and subscribe. We want you to continue to do that throughout the weekend. You can also hit me up on Twitter, Matt on the Mic 1. That is my Twitter handle. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know how things are going out there. Give a shout out to your youngster that you're cheering for. As we are finishing out here again in that heat, it was Pinkerton followed by Stanley, and now Van Alsten will round things out. They'll start heat number 3, moving from left to right on your computer screen. 6 swimmers in this one, all in for this particular heat. Nick Lang, an 11-year-old from Parkways, in lane number 1. Henry Price in lane number 2. We just saw his twin sister a moment ago, Libby Price. In the young ladies event, George Martin is in lane number 3. He's a 12-year-old from Parkway. Gannon Funk from Saluki. He's a 10-year-old. He's in lane number 4. Cyrus Zia, Parkway's 10-year-old, in lane number 5. And Simon Brink in lane number 6 from Parkway, a 12-year-old. But right now, front running right out of the chute is Funk. We saw Kelby Funk win the girls event just a few moments ago. And right now here in heat number 3, he is out ahead of everyone else. Final group touches the wall there on that first 50 meters. Again, many of these youngsters throughout the entire fall, then into the winter months, swam in the 25-yard pool. Then they switched over to the meter pool. Those swimmers with direct access to those pools might have had a little bit of a head start on some of the others, but Funk will touch the wall, and we'll see what happens. As Funk comes back right now, substantial lead for him. He'll win this heat pretty easily, halfway down on his last length of the pool. Or last lap of the pool, I should say. So he'll get set to touch the wall here at 150. Of course, long course, quite a bit different than what you see with short course, and the way the swimmers swim, the technique they need. Always important is that proper technique, the turns off the wall, the underwaters, then on top of the water, but being strong on top of the water, much more important in the long course pool as it is in the short, where 30% of your swim will come off the wall and on the turns. As Funk now comes into the home stretch, he'll go underneath the flags. He'll have a real nice time here, just slightly over 3 minutes for young Gannon. That'll shatter his previous best, 3:05.52 for that young man. 3:40.74 was his previous best, so great time for him. Lane number 1, second place here in the heat, it'll be Nick Lang. He came in at 4:04.52. He's going to shatter that one as well. Nice job for Nick. 3:24.86, third place in the heat right now. Lane number 3 is Martin. Martin came in at 3:39.78. He will beat that time of 3:36.76. Lane number 2, Henry Price will round things out. 3:44 was his previous best time. Lane number 6 was Simon Brink. He had no previously established time. Again, Price coming in. And then Zaghi will round things out in lane number 5. Now, we've started the next heat on this chase start. That's moving from right to left on your screen. Abram Shank at the bottom of your screen is in lane number 1. He's a 9-year-old for Parkway. Trey Cottle's in lane number 2 from Parkway, an 11-year-old, as are Seamus Smith and Jai Bist, both from Parkway in lanes number 3 and 4, both 11-year-old. And then a couple of 10-year-olds, Cameron Wellick in lane number 5 and Colin Devine in lane number 6. And that's how we got it going here in this particular heat. One more heat to follow. Out early here in this one, Seamus Smith, the 11-year-old from Parkway. Right in there with him in lanes number 2 and 4. Trey Cottle and Jai Bist. See those 3 front running. Other 3 swimmers all pretty even in lane number 6, 5, and 1. That's Devine, Wellick, and Shank. Of course, those 3 youngsters all have older siblings that swim for the Parkway Club. And all perform at a pretty high level. Give a shout out to all their parents. Of course, Abram Shank's father, Brent, is an official here. And we cannot do these events without the officials. We want to thank them for taking the time out throughout this weekend to allow us to bring you this meet. Cameron's mother, Ann, helping us with our production here this morning and this afternoon. And Colin Devine, of course, older brother Dylan, good athlete, Parkway swimmer. Smith, lane number 3 now. His previous best, 3:02.72. Not sure where they stand here on this current heat, but maybe what we'll try and do is I'll see if I can run a clock for everybody. But you can hit me up on Twitter. Again, it's Matt on the mic 1. You can hit me up on Twitter. Let me know you're out there listening. We would love to hear from you. They touch in the wall here. First one in again, lane number 3. That was Smith, followed by Cottle, then Bist. Rounding things out, lane number 5. That'll be Wellick. He comes in strong right now. Then followed in by Shank and then Devine. Nice job for all those youngsters. Again, hit me up, Matt, on the mic. On Twitter. Let me know you're out there listening. Let me know who you're rooting for. I did not tweet this out initially, but that's where we're at. Okay, now we do have the time on the scoreboard for this one. Final heat of the boys. Heat number 5. Tommy Fichter in lane number 1. Caleb Oppel in lane number 2. It's Casey Chapman in 3. Connor Moran in lane number 4. It's Michael Purcell in lane number 5. And Mason Mollering in lane number 6. Mollering, Chapman, and Opel, all 11 years old. The other 3 are 12-year-olds. Casey Chapman, unattached. And actually, he is in lane number 3. His previous best time, 2:36.73. He is right in behind there, behind Connor Moran, 2:46.88. Connor, of course, he competed for the Parkway Club at the ISCA meet in St. Petersburg, and he is growing into quite an exceptional swimmer here. Put you up on that triple here for Connor, which undoubtedly he is going to be looking towards in this 200 free in this long course. 200 free for the boys on the triple, 2:19.49. His previous best was 2:46.88. Not sure how long ago that is, but we know that he does have the athletic ability and the wherewithal to make that happen. He'll touch the wall. He'll have to come back in about just a little less than 30 seconds, but if he's got it in there, he starts to kick the jets in. Let's see if Connor can go for that triple. Be our first one recorded of the day. He'll easily win the heat. Not sure if he's going to quite get there. Double A time for the young boys in this one, 2:25.79. Let's see if he can get under that 2:25 mark. Under the flags now. He'll just miss that double A, but a nice swim for Connor at 2:28.14. Right in between that double and single A. Second place in the heat goes to Chapman. He comes in at 2:37.52, just off his previous best. Third place in that heat will be Purcell, 2:51.16. Fourth place in the heat goes to Mollering. Nice time for a young Mason, 2:55.57. About a half a second improvement for him. Of course, his dad here running security, making sure everybody's safe and following those COVID protocols. So I want to say hello to his dad, Matt. Rounding things out in this one, it was Clark and then Fichter. Excuse me, Opel, then Fichter. All right. Breaststroke now. Folks, we're on to the girls. It's the breaststroke. It is the 100-meter breaststroke. That's down and back on this one. There'll be 7 heats for the girls. Just 3 competitors here in this first one. No one in lanes number 2 or 6. Lane 3 is Colleen King from Saluki. She's a 10-year-old. Riley Ayers is in lane number 4. Emma DeBosch in lane number 5. Riley is a 9-year-old for Parkway, and Emma a 5-year-old, or a 7-year-old, and she's in lane number 5. Boy, I can imagine a 5-year-old trying to do 100 meters, but nonetheless, these young ladies will definitely show their quality here. All of them still really getting in the very beginnings of their young swimming career. No previously established times for these young ladies. We got Grandma and Grandpa giving a shout out to Peyton and Parker, and they swam already this morning. The Robics, thank you for chiming in on that one. Again, you can also tweet to me. Matt on the mic. 1. That is the Twitter handle. halfway to the pool here on this second and final lap. Lane number 3, that's King. She's from Saluki. Lane number 5, that's DeBosch. A lot of cheering going on here for these youngsters. Well, great to see these youngsters being able to get these meets underway. Some of the protocols for COVID are loosening just a bit. Still many in place. You'll see them wearing the mask throughout the event for sure. Of course, all the volunteers around here. We can't do this without the timers. You see them with the masks on as well. Officials. First one into the wall. It will be DeBosch. 2:01.72. What a time for the young 7-year-old. Excellent time. Followed right in behind at 2:03.38 from King. Ayers is going to round things out, the 9-year-old for Parkway. So great job by those young ladies. Now we're going to move from right to left on your computer screen. Five competitors in this particular heat. It's Sarah Morgan at the bottom of your screen in lane number 1. Meryl Reithel in lane number 2 from Parkway. She's an 11-year-old. Blake Hall's in lane number 3. We've got somebody different in lane number 3. We're not really sure who that is. So Lana Thuston in lane number 4. It's Campbell McCool in lane 5 and Alexa Sikorsky in lane number 6. She's a 10-year-old from Parkway. Now, one thing we know is that we're not aware of who the competitor in lane number 3 is. But first two in this heat thus far. It looks like Sikorsky also not in the event, so my apologies. But first two so far, Thuston to McCool. Thuston's in lane number 4. She's a 12-year-old for Parkway. McCool, lane number 5. Followed in behind, lane number 2, bottom of your screen. That's Rydell. Then Morgan and our swimmer in lane 3. That's how we'll round out this particular heat. Once we get word as to whether or not we're getting connected nicely into Meet Mobile, we'll pass that along to everyone. Now, as these young ladies get past the halfway mark on their particular heat, they'll start the heat from the other side. As our swimmer in lane number 3 will round things out. Now let's switch over to the left to right heat. This will be heat number 3, odd numbered heat. Paige Blum in lane number 1. No one is in lane number 2. Sloan Langdon in lane number 3. Amelia Reese in lane number 4, Sophia Schmidt in 5, and Emma McCourt is in 6. And right now it's the swimmers in lanes number 5, 6, and 1 leading the heat. It's Schmidt, McCourt, and Blum. Swimmers with previous established times are Langdon and Reese. They're in lanes number 3 and 4. Other 3 swimmers, no previously established time for them. Again, what we'll try and do is give you some semblance. And again, little life hack for everybody out there. If you're watching and your swimmer is moving from right to left on your computer screen, that means starting from the right side of your screen. Pull up your smartphone, get your timer out, and see if you can clock them, because that time is not registering up on the scoreboard. All times will be official today. They are being recorded properly per all the swim meet rules that need to be in place, but what we don't have is it appearing on the scoreboard, so we can't tell you exactly what that time is. All right, that'll round things out there. First in the heat was Schmidt, 136.41, 146.21 from Blom, then McCourt, and then rounding things out in the middle of the pool, it'll be Langdon and Reese as they come down for the home stretch. We'll start the next heat now, moving again from right to left on your computer screen. Cora Bland's in lane number 1. It is Vivian Borgmeyer in lane number 2. Rowan Bullard in lane number 3. No swimmer in lane number 4. Danny Hume is in lane number 5, and Claire Luna in lane number 6. Again, you got to kind of pay attention. We'll continue to try and bring this to you with the picture. So I think that our camera, for some reason, is on some type of timing mechanism. It seems to shut down after a certain amount of time. See what would you? So I don't know. We need time to figure out when it's going to go out because it's doing it about the same interval. First one in this heat, lane number 5, is Danny Hume. You see her coming down towards the start-finish line on the right side of your screen. Now they'll get set to go from the left side of your screen here in lane number 5. Second place battle going on in lanes number 6 and 3 with Luna and Bullard. It'll be Luna coming in second in that heat, followed by Bullard, and then rounding things out in lanes number 1 and 2 will be Cora Bland and Vivian Borgmeyer, finishing right next to each other. Now here we are, moving from left to right on your screen. Heat number 5, Natalie Grinther, she is in lane number 1. Willa Shank is in lane number 2. Quinn Porter is in lane number 3. Margaret Mendoza in lane number 4. Riley Moran, you see her well out ahead of everyone so far early in this heat. She's in lane number 5, just a 10-year-old from Parkway. And then Rose Patton in lane number 6. We just saw Riley's older brother, Connor, a moment ago win his previous event. Right now, she's coming out very strong here in this heat. Good swimming, good athletic family. Mother and father still competitive. Triathlons and running and things like that. Swam in their day, coming up through the ranks. And so Riley showing her quality right now. Also right there with her, lane number 4, following in behind is Margaret Mendoza, the 12-year-old from Parkway. So Riley with a very strong first 50. She's continuing to hold off Mendoza. But now look at the bottom of your screen. Lane number 1, this is Grinther. She's really starting to come on strong. In fact, she's just past Mendoza. Can't she catch up with Moran? It's neck and neck right now as they come into that final 15 meters. It's Grinther and Moran as they're going to come right down to the wall. They'll go underneath the flags. Who's got the most left? Grinther, Moran, lanes number 5 and 1 respectively, and it's going to be Grinther will take it. 1:45.45 for her. She drops 22 seconds off her previous best, 1:47.44 for Moran. She drops tremendous time as well, 16 seconds. Rounding things out in that one, it was Mendoza, followed by Porter, then Shank, and Patton. Now here we are in heat number 6. All 6 lanes are accounted for here in this one. Celine Chen in lane number 1, Shay Seck in lane number 2. It's Aubrey Ackerman in lane 3, Vika Anderson in 4, Isabella Zubiri from Saluki in lane number 5, and Lauren McCall, the 11-year-old from Parkway, in lane number 6, and she is well out ahead of everyone thus far. Her previous, I skipped the whole heat. Skipped the number of swimmers. So I got Chen and Set correct. Kennedy Johnson is in lane number 3, so my apologies to her parents. Great folks, Mike and Elaine. Natalie Gronberg in lane number 4. It's Kyra Langenstein in lane number 5, and then Leah DeBosch, who's well out ahead of everyone else, in lane number 6. So my mistake, I apologize about the confusion here on that one. But Leah right now, she has got quite a lead on everyone. We don't have the official time up on the scoreboard, but right now she is showing how skilled she is at this event. We've watched young Leah over the years. Of course, her mother, her uncle heavily involved in swimming. Her dad is an official. So the whole family involved. Her younger sister we saw swim just a moment ago. We saw Leah earlier. She'll be the first one into the wall, so good job for her. Second place right now. Good battle going on in lanes number 1 and 3. That is Johnson and Chen. Followed in behind in lane number 5 by Langenstein, then Scheck and Gronberg. And it will be Chen, then Johnson. We wind things out on that heat now. Final heat of this one, number 7, moving from left to right on your screen. Gabby Green is in lane number 1. Leela Herzl is in lane number 2. Aubrey Ackerman in 3. Vika Anderson is in 4. Lane number 5 is Isabella Zabriri. We talked about her a moment ago because I miscalled the previous heat. She's a 12-year-old from Saluki. Right now, she's well out ahead. And then Lauren McCall. She's an 11-year-old from Parkway. She's in lane number 6. But right now, Isabella really putting the pressure on. Quite a time for her, the 12-year-old. Start to look at that 12-year-old, some of those standard times in this 100 breaststroke. Her previous best time coming in here was 1:43.64. That was good enough for an A time, I think. Nope, good enough for a double B time. She's going to shatter that one, folks. She's going to go way low in this one. She's going to go under 125. 126.09 for her in this 100 breaststroke. And that is comfortably into the double A range. So nice job for Isabella. Double A time for her. .26.09, followed in behind by Anderson, then Ackerman. Fourth place in the heat to Herzl, then Green and McCall. Nice job to those young ladies as they round out the event. In Zabiri, she will get the double A time. Event number 4 here, the boys. We're going to have 5 heats for these young men. Again, odd number heats move from left to right. Even numbered heats move from right to left. We do have the times on the scoreboard for the odd number heats. So they'll reset things down there at the starting blocks. And now they're into the pool. 5 competitors in this one. No one in lane number 3. It'll be Parker Robick in lane number 1. Zachary Zunetsov in lane number 2. They're 8 and 9 years old, respectively, for Parkway. Then a 10-year-old, Ryan Shalom, in lane number 4. Walt Pendleton's a 9-year-old from Parkway in lane 5. And Aiden Lewis, another 8-year-old, in lane number 6 from Saluki. And right now, it is the competitors in the outside lanes. The 8-year-olds, Parker Robick and Aiden Lewis, heading things up. Again, no swimmers in lane number 2 and 3. I mentioned Zanetsov. He is not here. Thought I saw someone dive in, but I missed it. So 2 and 3 are vacated in this event. First one to the wall there with a nice split under 105. Parker Robick, again, he's just 8 years old, folks. This young man can really go get it. We saw his older sister Peyton swim earlier. His older brother Colby, also swimmer. Saw his father Corey earlier today. He's down there on the deck timing. Got a chance to briefly talk to him. But what a race right now. And Parker. Again, you don't take those time standards all the way down to the 8 and unders. They fall into the time standard range for the 10 and unders. But right now in long course, .209.39. That is your double B, or that's your B time. 155.99. No one's going to get that for the double B, but Parker Robick, solid B time for him at 2:08.95. Nice job. As he gets that time cut, well on his way to that double B. Lots of swimming talent in that family, and they're showing their quality here today as well. Second place in the heat will go to Lewis. Pendleton will round things. Third place goes to Shalom, and fourth place will be Pendleton in just a moment. Now, moving from right to left on your computer screen. Heat number 2. No one in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is Caleb Oppel. Mitchell Stanley's in lane number 3. Nobody in lanes 4 and 5. And then Chapman Springbold in lane number 6 from Saluki. So 2 11-year-olds from Parkway, and Oppel and Stanley, and then a 10-year-old Springbold from Saluki in lane 6. Right now it's Caleb Oppel in lane number 2. He's got a couple of body length lead over the rest of his competitors. He'll be the first one to touch the wall. It's a down and back. This is one full lap in this 50-meter Olympic-sized pool. Well, for those Parkway parents who got a chance to join us, there's a number of the swimmers from Parkway competed in the ISCAs, both in the senior event and in the age group events. You saw some of the most talented swimmers from around the country, and then that senior event. Interesting how they operated that one. It was a short course prelim and then a final in the long course. So they had to switch midway through the day. Number of Olympians in that one. We saw a number of Olympic trial cuts, and a lot for those youngsters to go out and aspire to. But what a swim we got going on right now with Oppel. No previously established time for him. Unfortunately, we don't have the scoreboard time for these youngsters. We'll start things off here in the left side of your screen as Oppel comes in. It'll be followed by Springbold, then Stanley. But lane number 1 will be Ryan Pinkerton. Lane number 2 is Cyrus Ziley. We've got a false start in that one. False start on that one. They're going to bring the youngsters back. So we got a false start. We'll see how they're going to play that one. Well, they're going to have to undoubtedly take it. They're going to take some time off of the event. When the youngsters get down to the wall, they'll pull them out. They'll probably sit out on it. So we had a false start on that one. I don't know if they're going to give him time or not to swim back down to the other side, or should they get out of the pool? I'm not really sure if they're going to restart him right away or not. They're going to let him get out of the pool and go back the other way. We'll see if we can keep an eye on how they're going to work this, if they're going to give these youngsters this time to rest or not. Clear false start on that, on the block. Somebody jumped in a few ticks ahead of the buzzer. No need to hustle, young men. Take a breather. Hit me up on the Twitter line, Matt on the mic 1. That is my Twitter handle. Send me a note. Let me know you're out there watching the swim meet. So we'll see how they're going to handle this. Just a moment, as they're going to go to heat 4, so that'll be from right to left on your computer screen. All 6 lanes will be occupied. It'll be Abram Shank in lane number 1, Trey Cottle in lane 2. Mason Mollering is in lane 3. Jai Bist is in lane 4. Thomas Van Alsten in lane 5. And Cameron Wellick in lane number 6. Out early here on this first length of the pool in lane number 3. That's Mason Mollering. I mentioned his father, Matt, earlier. Good athlete in his own right. Starred for Chaminade High School on the soccer field. And now it's young Mason with the early lead here in this breaststroke. Maybe the most difficult of the 4 different disciplines in terms of technique, making sure you get the stroke correct and whatnot. Second place in the heat right now. Right next to Mollering is Bist, and then everyone else pretty even. We got a 9-year-old in Shank in lane number 1, a 10-year-olds, in lanes number 5 and 6, and Van Alsten and Wellick, and then Cottle, Mollering, and Bist, all 11 years old. Lost our picture for a moment there. We're trying our best to make sure we get all this sorted out. So wind things out here. First one in was Mason Mollering. Nice job for him. Followed closely in behind by Bist and Cottle. It'll then be Wellick, Shank, and Van Alsten. Now back down to the other one. This was the heat we had just a moment ago. We're back down to, well, they're saying this is heat 5. I'm not sure if this is heat 5 or what it is, but if it's heat 5, we've got, I don't know if they disqualified that whole previous heat, how they're going to run that one, but nonetheless, the girls are trying to step up to the block for the next event. I'm going to say this is heat number 5 because Connor Moran is well out ahead of everyone else in lane number 5. So we're going to go with Nick Lang in 1, Elliot Bland in 2, Elliot Sapp in 3, Cole Strom in lane number 4. It's Connor Moran in lane number 5 and Grayson Langdon in lane number 6. Strom and Langdon are 10 years old. Sapp and Lang are 11, and 12-year-olds are Bland and Moran. And Moran right now well out ahead of everyone else in this 100 breaststroke. 122.19 is that cut. Trying to get in right behind it. In that 100 breaststroke, 126.19 is your double A, and it'll be 127.19 solid A for Connor Moran. He takes the heat in lane number 5, wins the event overall, unless somebody in lane number 4 can come in at under 127.19. Nice job for him. Second place in the heat goes to Sapp. Third place to Strom. Fourth to Bland. Fifth to Langdon. And then Lang in lane number 1 rounds things out. Now we're going to go back to heat number 3. I'm going to make sure we get all the scoreboards sorted out and whatnot. All right, now back to lane number heat number 3. Again, Pinkerton, Zai, Nelson, Devine, Price, and Reese. That's who we've got in this one. Pinkerton, lane number 1. Nelson in lane number 3 and Reese in lane number 6. Those are your front runners. Looks like Reese is going to be the first one to touch the wall here. This split will be under 50 seconds. His previous best time coming in. He had no previously established time. So he leads now, coming back the other way. All 6 of these swimmers from Parkway. As they go down the final stretch here. Looks like Reese will take the heat. Again, fastest time in this one was the A time by Connor Moran at 1:27. No one's going to sniff that one here in this particular heat, but Reese will get a nice time. 1:43.45 for him. Second place in the heat goes to Nelson. Third place in the heat to Pinkerton. Fourth place in that heat will go to Divine. Nice swim by him, by Colin. And rounding things out here in this one, lane number 2, it'll be Zaid and then Henry Price. So congratulations to those young men. Congratulations to Connor Moran for winning the event. As we will move on now to 50-meter backstroke. Now, all of these are going to go from left, as my understanding, we're going to go from right to left on every single one of these. So we should have established times. We'll see how the scoreboard switches if it does. But this will be the young ladies. All right, the ladies will jump in now. We'll have swimmers in lanes number 1 and 2, 4 and 5. So it'll be Emma DeBosch in lane number 1, Lillian Palish in lane number 2, Claire Spiegel in lane number 4, and Jillian Clark in lane number 5. Okay, they will have the scoreboard going, and they've got that all correct up there. So that's good. We'll be able to get all the scores. And I don't believe that we will have a chase start. We will just wait. They'll finish, and there'll be times will register, and that'll be it. Early lead right now. Lillian Palish in lane number 2 stretches things out. 23 seconds halfway through the pool. Palish will be the first one into the wall here. No previously established time for her. So it'll be Palish, followed in behind in second place by Spiegel in lane number 4. Then it'll be Clark, DeBosch. So that's how it'll round things out. All right, next heat now. No one in lane number 3. You have Sarah Morgan in lane number 1, Noah Brooks in lane number 2, Meryl Rydell in lane number 4, Claire Petrie in lane number 5, and Lucy Fox in lane number 6. All these are Parkway swimmers. Morgan and Fox are 10 years old. The other 3 are 11 years old. Middle of the pool right now, lane number 5, it's Petrie. She's taken a body length and a half lead as they just come past the middle of the pool where our perspective is at. Again, the scoreboard has not reset, so not really sure what the time on this one's going to be, but it will be Petrie. She'll be the first one into the wall here in lane number 5. She stretches it out on that last touch. Next one into wall, lane number 4. That's Rydell. followed in lane number 2 by Brooks, then Fox, and then Morgan. So not sure what that time was. Okay, now they're going to throw it up there. But the scoreboard is still operating from 2 heats ago. So maybe they'll clear up that before we get into this next heat. We'll give it just a minute. That's what they're working on right now. Little technical issues and trying to sort those out. Of course, we want to thank all the volunteers for helping us put on this meet. All the folks that work the scoreboard and under the direction here of the meet by Ruth Price. And thank you to all of those folks. I want to thank all the swimmers for making sure they're following those protocols. Staying safe and whatnot. So we get set for heat number 3. Looks like they've got the scoreboard issue resolved. All right, heat number 3. Lana Thuston in lane number 1. It's Sydney Rackers in lane number 2. Riley Ayers in lane number 3. It's a 7-year-old, Sloan Langdon in lane number 4. Rachel Bolins in lane 5, and Emma McCourt in lane 6. Give a shout out to Rachel's father, Matt, one of my high school classmates. The good doctor, Dr. Bolin. Hope you're doing well and watching your daughter here on this Parkway Long Course Classic. Enjoying all the action here. Top of your screen now in lanes number 5 and 6. That's Bolin and McCourt. They are slightly ahead of everyone else. Also down in lane number 1 is Thuston. All 3 of those young ladies, 12 years old, middle of the pool. Langdon in 4 is 7. Ayers in 3 is 9. And Rakers in lane number 2 is 10. It's like first one to the wall. Lane number 6 is going to be McCourt. Let's see what her time is going to come in at. It will be a 40:07 for her, 41:73 for Bowling. Right in behind her is Thuston in lane number 1. 4th place in this heat will be lane number 4, Langdon, and then rounding things out in lanes number 2 are Rakers, and then lane number 4, Langdon. Now they're going to let these youngsters exit the pool, I think, to make sure the clock works correctly. It'll be Lucy Favaza in lane number 1, Vivian Borgmeyer in lane 2. Lane number 3 is vacated. Lucia Wires in lane number 4. It's Natalie Grinther in 5 and Amelia Reese in lane 6. All Parkway swimmers. The latter 3 in lanes 4, 5, and 6 are all 11 years old. Borgmeyer is 9 and Favaza in lane number 1 is 10. Right now, lane number 4 and 5 heading the pack. That's Wires and Grinther, but coming on strong in lane number 1 is Favaza. These young ladies past the halfway mark on the pool. Right past our camera angle. Again, we're going wide angle. Everything on these 50s will start from the right side. When we are in hundreds and 200s, it will alternate. Odd numbered events will start on the left side, even numbered on the right side. First 2 into the wall. It'll be Grinther and Wires, followed by Favaza. Then Borgmeyer with a 58:12. Wires, and then Reese rounding things out in lane number 6. All right, 6 competitors here in this one. Reagan Lewis is in lane number 1. She's an 11-year-old from Saluki. And Irwin in lane number 2, 9 years old from Parkway. Saluki 12-year-old Grace Honold in lane number 3. 10 years old and 11-year-old respectively are Addison Howard and Anayaya Seti in lane number 5. It's Rose Patton, the 11-year-old from Saluki, in lane number 6. At the halfway mark, neck and neck here in the middle of the pool, lanes 3 and 5. That is Honold and Seti. Coming on strong in lane number 1 as well is Lewis. Looks like Seti in lane number 5, taking a slight lead now. She's going to pull it underneath the flag. She's going to be the first one into the wall. What's her time going to be for Seti? And it will be 41:72, followed by Honold, then Lewis. Rounding things out in the heat will be Howard, Patton, and Irwin. Nice job for those young ladies. Now they're going to let them exit the pool so we can get all of the times clocked correctly on that scoreboard up there. Folks, remember now, this will get on Meet Mobile eventually. Right now, the scoreboard and Meet Mobile are not talking to each other. That is why we don't have those times up there on Meet Mobile. All right, 6 competitors here in heat number 6. Willa Shank, the 11-year-old from Parkway, in lane number 1. Her fellow 11-year-old from Parkway is Quinn Porter. She's in lane number 2. Grace Hager, the 10-year-old from Parkway, is in lane 3. Rowan Bullard from Saluki, also a 10-year-old, in lane number 4. And then Riley Moran, lane number 5. And she is a 10-year-old from Parkway, followed by Shay Seck in lane number 6. She is a 12-year-old. Out of the chute right now, it's Riley Moran. Riley about a body length and a half, almost 2 body lengths ahead of the next closest competitor. In fact, all other 5 in a row as they pass the halfway point, folks. We're going to have a race for second place here in this one. Riley Moran is going to win the heat. The young 10-year-old from Parkway will get that. We're going to try and get that time for you here in just a moment to see how she comes in. But she comes in at a 44:20 for a 10-year-old. What a time for her. So way to go to Riley, back in behind her. Sorry, I didn't get that. We had a little camera issue as we rounded things out. Next heat now, we've got 6 swimmers in there. Here in heat number 7, it's Eviana Ganem in lane number 1. Peyton Robick's in lane number 2. She's out ahead of everyone else by a full body length right now. Lane number 2 or 3 is Libby Price. Elam Foom in lane number 4. Vika Anderson in lane number 5. And Madeline Tucker in lane number 6. Right now, Peyton Robick, she's going to be the first one into the wall. In lane number 2, the 11-year-old came in with a 45.71. She'll shatter that. 40.64 for her. And a 40.64 in there for a solid double B time for Robick. Also a double B time for Riley Moran a moment ago. Now, final heat here. It's Margaret Mendoza in lane number 1. It's Gabby Green in 2, Sophia Schmidt in 3, Jada Ankrum in lane number 4, Claire Luna in 5, and Paige Blom in lane number 6. Front running right now in lane number 3 is Sophia Schmidt, 37.74 for that 12-year-old from Parkway. She's trying to go under that. Looks like she will. She's inside the flag now. Can she get under 35? Into the wall, and it will be Schmidt with a 37.02 for her. In that 50 back, just off of the double A time, well under the single A though. Nice job for her. As we will now move over to the boys. 6 heats for them. First heat will have 4 swimmers, no one in lanes 2 and 6. Emerson Lewis is in lane number 1. Tyson Brooks is in lane 3. Walt Pendleton is in 4. And Noah Sample is in lane 5. Sample and Lewis, both 8 years old, both from Saluki. Parkway, they got Brooks and Pendleton. They are 9 and 10, respectively. And right now, it's Brooks, the 10-year-old, in lane number 3. No previously established times for these youngsters. Brooks now will be the first one into the wall. Nice time for him on his first ever He'll go 52.60. I think it was a little quicker than that. He might have had a soft touch. Next one's into the wall where Pendleton and then Sample and Lewis will round things out here in this first heat. As we get set for the next one. Folks, remember now, like, share, do all those things. Subscribe. We want to have you on the channel here. Just 3 swimmers in this particular heat. Brighton Shattuck's in lane number 1. No one in lanes 3, 4, and 5. Or 2, 3, and 4, excuse me. And then it's Ryan Shalom and Colin Mozzie for his first swim of the day here in lane number 6. And those youngsters are all 10 years old. Top of your screen now, it's Mozzie, lane number 6, and then followed in behind by Shalom. Neither one of these 2 youngsters have a previously established time as we watch this one go off. Again, we're doing everything with one camera today, one wide angle camera. No extra production crew. That'll tell you just the skill of Kevin Girth, who's usually with us for these Parkway meets. He's out enjoying a lot of the nice weather. Baseball tournament, coaching this weekend. That's the first one into the wall will be Mozzie. Nice time, 50.39 for him. That's exceptionally good for the first time ever for the 10-year-old in this long course pool. Shalom 53.67, and Shattuck will round things out. In terms of where does that stand on the 50 backstroke scale? Does he get a couple of double or a couple of B times there? Mozzie just off of the double B time by a little over a second, so you can bet as he gets more comfortable in that long course pool, he will get that in relatively short order. Shattuck now rounds things out in that heat. We'll go to heat number 3. Again, moving from right to left on your computer screen. 5 swimmers in this one, no one in lane number 4. It'll be Mitchell Stanley in lane 1, Ryan Pinkerton in lane 2, Nick Lang in lane 3, Mason Mollering in lane 5, and Casey Chapman in lane 6. Chapman is an unattached swimmer, swimming for Parkway now. The other 4 also all Parkway swimmers. And all of them 11, with the exception of Pinkerton in lane 2. He's a 12-year-old. Top of your screen now, once again, it's Chapman. We saw him swim quite well earlier. Mollering right in behind him in second place, followed by Lang. Chapman's opened up about a body length and a half lead here in this heat. So going to the wall, hard touch for him, 41.84. For that young man, the 11-year-old, followed in behind by Mollering, then Lang, and rounding things out in lane number 1 will be Stanley. That time for Chapman got him in to the B range. 4 competitors here in this next event. No one in lane number 1 or lane number 4. So you'll have Cameron Wellick in lane number 2, Colin Devine in lane number 2, Thomas Van Alsten in lane number 4, and Cyrus Zayi in lane number 6. So all these swimmers, all very good, all very competitive, all their prelim times within a second of each other, or 2 seconds of each other. Anybody's race at this point. Actually, we just had somebody jump in lane number 1, so that'll be Sam Becker. Sam Becker is in the event. And all these youngsters 10 years old. So I think that's the first heat we've had with all 10-year-olds with more than just 2 or 3 swimmers. And they're off. First one on top of the water there in lane 2. 2 was Wellick. Lane number 1, Becker coming out quickly as well. They are 1 and 2. Also up there in lane number 5 is Van Alsten. Van Alsten starting to pour it on just a little bit, and he is now taking the lead at the halfway mark. 1 and 2 are Van Alsten and Becker in lanes number 5 and 1 respectively. Wellick, though, making a nice comeback as he pulls back into position. He is now in second place. Now look at the top of your screen. Zai, he was a nice close swimmer in the previous events. Also look at lane number 3. This is anybody's event now. It's Colin Devine. Who's going to finish this one out? Devine looks very strong in lane 3. Going neck and neck now with Van Alsten. First one into the wall on this one, and it's going to be at the last minute. It'll be Wellick. Wellick pulls it out at a 52.73. So Cameron, over a second and a half faster than his previous best time. Devine in second place, Van Alsten in third. Fourth goes to Becker and Zai in fifth. Great race there on that one, folks. All right, full house here. All 6 swimmers in. Heat number 5, Winston Reese in lane number 1. It's Gannon Funk, the 10-year-old from Saluki in lane 2. Seamus Smith is from Parkway. He's 11. He's in 3. Henry Pice, the 10-year-old from Parkway in lane 4. Abram Shank, just 9. He's up here with the big boys in lane number 5. And then George Martin, the 12-year-old, in lane number 6. And right now, bottom of your screen, it's the Saluki Funk. He swam well earlier. Right now, he's slightly ahead of Reese. They are in lanes number 2 and 1, respectively. Also right there with him in lane number 3 is Seamus Smith. It's going to be these 3 down to the wire. Right now, it looks like Funk, he's got a slight quarter body length lead. They go under the flag, and Funk starts to pull away. It'll be Funk's race. He'll be the first one into the wall on this one, and he will touch it 43.43. Nice job for Gannon Funk as he comes in at 43.43, followed in behind by Smith, then Reese. Fourth place in the heat goes to Henry Price. Abram Shank in 5th place in lane 5, and then Martin in lane 6 in 6th place. Nice job of those young men at 43.43. For Funk, just 10 years old again, in that 50 back. Very nice time, solidly into the double B range. Almost an A time, excuse me. All right, final heat, full house. 6 swimmers here on this one. Grayson Langdon's in lane number 1. He's a 10-year-old from Parkway. Elliot Sapp is an 11-year-old from Parkway. He's in 2. Michael Purcell and Tommy Fichter, both 12 years old. They're in 3 and 4 from Parkway. Trey Cottle, the 11-year-old from Parkway, in lane number 5. And then Cole Strom in lane 6, 10 years old from Parkway. Lane number 3, right out of the chute, it's Michael Purcell, and he's starting to try and pull away a little bit as they enter half pool. He is slightly pulling away from everybody else, a body length ahead. Lane number 3, now his previous best time for Purcell was 39.86. Can he go under it? Hits the 30-second mark, not quite at the flag yet. He's going to win the heat, but can he get his best time? Under the flags now. Purcell to the wall, and he will get his best time at 38.61. Nice job for Michael Purcell. 38.61 for the 12-year-old on that 50 back, and you start to look at that 38.51. Solid double B time for him. Fichter comes in second place. Third place in the heat goes to Strom. Fourth place in the heat goes to Sapp. 5th place in that heat to Cottle, and then Langdon. All right, we're right back down to the right side of the pool again for the start, because right now we're going to go to the 50 freestyle. The 7-year-old Emma DeBosch will be in lane number 2. Colleen King is scheduled to be in lane 3, and she's just walked up. I think she's got a goggle issue. Now she gets up on top of the block. Lane number 4 will be Jillian Clark. She was the one with the goggle issue, so we're giving her just a second. Oh, she's going to move over. She's in the wrong lane. So that's why we had no one in lane 4. Again, moving from right to left on your computer screen here, folks. Hit me up on Twitter, Matt on the mic 1. That's my Twitter handle. Let me know you're out there listening. Got a shout out from J. Anthony Hansen. We'll say thank you. And then David. Got a note from him as well. Thanks for chiming in, guys. Appreciate it. There's a 50 freestyle, 1 length of the pool here in this Olympic-sized pool. It's lane number 3, looking very strong, is Colleen King, the 10-year-old from Saluki. No previously established time. She'll come in at a very, very nice 41.51 for her. Second place in the heat will be DeBosch at under 53 seconds. So that 41.51 is a B time, solid B time. For Clark rounding things out. In lane 3 will be Clark. Heat number 2 now in this one. No one's in lane number 5, so it'll be Claire Spiegel in lane 1, Noah Brooks in lane 2, Emma McCourt in 3, Meryl Rydell in lane number 4, and Sarah Morgan in lane number 6. Lane number 3 now, here it is. It's Emma McCourt. She's several body lengths ahead of everyone else. McCourt, 12 years old, no previously established time for her in this 50-meter long course pool. She's going to have a real super nice time here. She's going to come in under 35. It'll be 33.68 for Emma. Nice job for her in that 50 free, and that's a great beat, a double beat time for her right out of the chute in long course. So good job for Emma McCourt. Second place in the heat goes to Brooks. Third place in the heat will go to Rydell. Rounding things out in lane number 1 will be Spiegel and then Morgan. So nice job to those young ladies. All right, back up on top now. Full house, 6 swimmers. Rachel Bolin will be in lane number 1, Lana Thuston in lane number 2, Vivian Borgmeyer in 3, Sloan Langdon's in 4, Blake Hall in 5, and Celine Chen is in lane number 6. Good start right out of the chute for lanes 2 and 6 in this one. That's Thuston and Chen. They have both been very strong all day, but it's Bolin right down in lane number 1. She's looking very strong. But now taking the lead once again. Lane number 2 on this one is Thuston, and then Chen up in lane number 6. Let's see who can be the first one in the wall. It looks like it'll be Thuston in lane number 2. And she does touch first. 38.89 for the 12-year-old from Parkway. Second place in the heat goes to Chen, then Bolin, lane number 1. Borgmeyer will take third place, and rounding things out will be Langdon in lane number 4. All right, well, on to heat number 4. Six swimmers in here: Riley Ayers, Willa Shank, Lucy Fox. That's lanes 1, 2, and 3. It's Natalie Grinther, Amelia Reese, and Sydney Rakers in lanes number 4, 5, and 6. All Parkway swimmers here in this one. Ayers, lane number 1, just a 9-year-old. 10 years old are Fox and Rakers, and then 3 11-year-olds in Shank, Grinther, and Reese. Right now, middle of the pool, lane number 4 is Grinther. She's got a slight lead over lane number 2 in Shank. They're going to battle it down. Looks like Grinther will take this heat, trying to go under 40, and she will go 40.7 for her. Shank 41.82. Rounding things out here on the heat, Reese, followed by Fox, Rakers, and then Ayers now gets into the wall. 5 more heats left to go. Swimmers in lanes 1 and 2, 5 and 6. No one in 6. No one in 3 and 6. So it'll be Palish, Lillian Palish in lane 1, Cora Blands in lane 2. No one in 3. Rose Patton in lane 4. And in lane 5 is Aviana Ganem, a 9-year-old for Parkway. Right now, lane number 1 looks to be the fastest in the pool. That's Lillian Palish, the 10-year-old from Parkway. Can she go under 40? She'll be the first one to touch at 40.84 for that 10-year-old. Nice solid B time for her. Rounding things out, Bland, Patton, and Ganem. Okay. Heat number 6 now, 4 more remaining. full house, all 6 swimmers in. Ann Irwin, lane number 1. Tori Reese in lane 2. Isabella Zabruri, we saw her very strong earlier. She's in lane 3. She's a 12-year-old from Saluki. Anayaya Sethi, she was very strong as well. She's in lane number 4 for Parkway. The 11-year-old Addison Howard and Lucy Favaza round things out. Middle of the pool right now. Lanes 3 and 4, they're doing battle for this 50 free. Right now it's Zabruri. Isabella, she'll be the first one into the wall. Nice time for her at 33.63. Followed closely behind at 34.36 from Sethi. So we'll see how those times tap out in the 50 free. That 33.63, solid double B time. This is at 34.36. Heat number 7, Grace Hager's in lane number 1. Shay Seck is in lane number 2. It's Campbell McCool in lane 3. Peyton Robick in lane number 4, and a tremendous underwater for Robick right now. She is a body length ahead as they hit halfway down the pool. Quinn Porter's in lane 5, and Madeline Tucker in lane number 6. Let's see what Robick can do here, the 11-year-old. Her previous best is 38.42. Right now she's on pace to shatter that. She's going to try and go under 35. I think she's going to make it. She might go under 33. Peyton Robick to the wall for the 11-year-old, and she goes 33.25. Good swim for her. Second place in the heat goes to McCool. Third place in that heat goes to Porter. Fourth, Seck, then Tucker and Hager round things out. And that 33 time for Robick. Solid double B just off of the A time. Nice job for Peyton there in that one. Next heat, here we go now. Libby Price is in lane 1. Claire Luna is in lane 2. No one in lane 3. Lauren McCall is in lane 4. Claire Petrie in 5. And Riley Moran leading the pack early on as they get halfway down the pool. She is in lane number 6. Well, it's all competitive now. We're starting to see these times really go low and heat up. Moran now about 3/4 of a body length ahead of her fellow competitors. Can she go under 32? Let's see what she can do. 32.99 is that A time, and she'll hit it at 33.87. So Riley Moran, the 10-year-old, actually, she just hit a double A time for her age group. And would have been an A time in the previous. Second place is McCall, then Petrie, Price, and Luna. Now, final heat, 6 competitors in. Natalie Gromberg in lane 1. Aubrey Ackerman in lane number 2. Danny Hume in lane number 3. Kennedy Johnson's in 4. Jada Ankrum in lane number 5. And Kelby Funk in lane number 6. Funk very strong earlier. Right now she's leading the pack, and she's starting to widen it out, folks. The 12-year-old from Saluki. 35.50, her previous best. She's going to shatter that. Can she go under 32? She will go under 32 at 31.59. So Kelby with a great time there for the 12-year-old. That 31.59, good enough to get her into that double A range by .10. Second place in that heat goes. Well, they're changing the names on me on the scoreboard quicker than I can keep up, but that was lane number 3 for that one, Hume. Lane number 4 was Johnson. She came in third place with a 33.83. Fourth place in the heat in lane number 2 was Ackerman, and rounding things out were Ankrum and Gromberg. So nice time for double A there for Funk. Congratulations on that one. Five competitors in this first heat for the boys 50. We'll have 6 of these. Walt Pendleton is in 2. Aiden Lewis is in 3. Zachary Kuznetsov is in lane 4. Noah Samples in 5. And Emerson Lewis in lane 6. The 3 Saluki swimmers, Lewis, Samples, and Lewis, Aiden and Emerson, they are 8 years old. I suspect the Lewis boys are twins. Actually, there is somebody in lane number 1 now. It's Brighton Shattuck. He jumped in late. Nonetheless, lane number 3, that's Aiden Lewis. Well ahead of everyone else at this point. Shattuck, a 10-year-old in lane 1. Pendleton in lane 2 is a 9-year-old. Kuznetsov, a 9-year-old. And the other 3 Saluki swimmers, all 8 years old. First one into the wall here. Nice first time, under 50. Soft touch, not sure how he established that one. Second time, 53.12. No, I'm sorry, 55.69. So Soft touch on the wall cost him his exact time. Third place goes to Pendleton. Fourth place will go to Lewis. Shattuck and Kuznetsov will round things out. Four competitors here in this one. No one in heats are in lanes number 3 and 5. Lane 1, Tyson Brooks. Lane 2, Ryan Shalom. Lane 4, Colin Mozzie and Chapman Springbold, who was very strong earlier. And right now, he and Mozzie are neck and neck as they go halfway down the pool. He's in lane number 6 is Springbold. Who's going to take this one? Right now, it looks like Springbold has a little bit more speed. No previously established times for any of these youngsters in this particular heat. And Springbold will take the heat, trying to go under 40. Can he touch the wall? He'll touch it in 40.5 seconds. 5.7. Followed in behind by Mozzie, then Brooks, Shallow. We'll round things out. That 40.57 was a good, solid B time for Springbold. Heat number 3 now. No one in lane number 3. So it's Becker in lane 1, Van Alsten in 2, Martin in lane number 3, I got the wrong heat. Reese in lane number 1, Pinkerton in lane number 2, Robick is in lane number 4, Brink in 5, and Stanley in 6. So my apologies about missing that one early on, but it's lane number 1. He's going to take the heat. First one into the wall on this one, and it will be Becker. We didn't get the time up on the scoreboard, so but Becker takes the heat on that one. Let's see if they get the scoreboard readjusted here. They're still on heat number 3 on the scoreboard. We're about to hit number 5. Oh, excuse me, that was heat number 3. Okay, now we're correct. Well, we're off. There we go. Becker's in lane number 1, Van Alsten in 2. Actually, Becker is scratched out, so he's not in the event. No one in lane 3. Martin is in lane 4, Lang in 5, and Zai in lane number 6. Right now, it's lane number 5, Nick Lang, the 11-year-old from Parkway. 45.09 was his previous best. He's going to come well under that, trying to go under 40. 5-second drop here at this point is huge. He goes 39.26 in lane number 5. So nice job for Nick Lang. Almost a 6-second drop there. Okay, now we've got the scoreboard all sorted out. 2 heats left. 6 swimmers here in heat number 5. It's Abram Shank in lane number 1, the 9-year-old. It's Grayson Langdon in lane number 2, the 10-year-old. Trey Cottle and Jai Biss, the 11-year-olds from Parkway in lanes 3 and 4. And then Cameron Wellick and Colin Devine in lanes number 5 and 6. Right now, anybody's race as they go halfway through the middle of the pool. Lane number 3, it's Trey Cottle. Followed in closely behind by Bist and then Wellick. Those 3 are going to battle right down to it. Bist is now taking the lead. Bist starting to lengthen it out a little bit now over his fellow competitors, but Cottle trying to come back. First one into the wall. It'll be, I think Cottle got him. It will be Bist just under the touch of 38.47 and 38.49. Wellick will come in 3rd place. What a race. 38.47 and 38.49. Great time for those 2 young men. Again, it was Wellick. 4th place in that heat goes to Langdon, and then Shank, and then Devine will round things out. Now, final heat, 6 swimmers in. Casey Chapman is in lane number 1. Caleb Oppel in lane number 2. It's Christopher Nelson in 3. Michael Purcell, who was very fast earlier, he's in lane number 4. Elliot Bland is in 5. Lane number 6 is Tommy Fichter. Right now, it's Bland and Nelson in lanes number 5 and 3, respectively. But look in the middle of the pool as well, because Purcell's coming on strong. Right now, it's Purcell and Bland. Purcell looks to have a little bit of a lead. Who's going to be the first one to touch the wall? It will be Purcell at 33.20. So Michael Purcell will get first place in that one at 33.20 for the 12-year-old from Parkway. And that 33.20 solid double B time, or excuse me, yeah, solid double B time for him. Okay, folks, we're down to our final event. And this will be the 100-meter butterfly. Again, we'll have 4 heats for the girls. So the odd number heats are going to start from the left side. The even numbered heats are going to start from the right side. As they get the scoreboard reset. Left to right on your computer screen. No swimmer in lane number 4. It'll be Grace Hager in lane number 1, Claire Petrie in lane 2, Reagan Lewis in lane number 3. Lane number 5 has Lillian Palish and Gabby Green in lane number 6. None of these swimmers have a previously established time. Green is 9 years old, Hager is 10 years old, as is Palish, and Petrie and Lewis 11 years old. Well, you want to see swimmers get tired, throw them in the pool and let them swim 50 meters of butterfly. And then to top it off, you got to touch the wall and go back again. First one to the wall, lane number 6. That's Gabby Green. Green, though, head and shoulders above everybody else right now. She's about 4 body lengths ahead up there at the top of your screen in lane number 6. We've got that battle for second place going on in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Petrie, Lewis, and Palish. And then it'll be Hager rounding things out. Young Grace, just 10 years old. But Gabby Green, what a time for her. She's going to come in under 140. First time establishing a time at 138.20. Nice job for Gabby. Again, we won't get the official times on the swimmers in those even numbered heats. 4 swimmers here in this one. It'll be Rachel Bolin in lane number 1, Margaret Mendoza in 2, Sophie Schmidt in lane number 3, no one in 4, Elam Fu is in 5, and that's how we'll round things out in here in this one. Excuse me, Schmidt, she was very fast earlier. Right now she is slightly ahead of Fu in 5, so it's 3 and 5. The first 2 so far in this heat. There'll be 4 heats of this one. Touch and go back the other way. For the young boys, just 2 heats of this 100-meter butterfly. Sophia Schmidt, excuse me, she's widening her lead slightly. She'll come down to the end of the pool. We'll bring you the final. It'll be Schmidt, followed in behind her by Fu in lane number 5. Lane number 1, Rachel Bolin, and Margaret Mendoza will round things out. Now we've started the next heat, as you were doing with us earlier. We're doing the chase start, so All 6 swimmers in this one. Addison Howard in lane number 1. It's Tori Reese in lane number 2. Vika Anderson in lane number 3. Grace Honnold in lane number 4. Natalie Grinther in 5. And Paige Blom in lane number 6. It's Blom in 6 right now, a little bit ahead of everyone else by about 2/3 of a body length. Middle of the pool in lanes 4 and 3 respectively. That's Honnold and Anderson vying for second place. 10 years old, Howard in lane number 1. 11 years old are Reese and Grinther, 2 and 5, and then Anderson, Honnold, and Blom, all 12 years old. Nice form right now, lane number 6 for Paige Blom. She's a 12-year-old from Parkway. No previously established time for her yet. She's really looking strong. Paige Blom's going to close this one out. Her best time, or her first time, will be her best time. She's going to come in under 140. Let's see where that time is at for her. It will be 1:39.09. Nice job from Paige. Second in the heat in lane number 3 goes to Honnold. Or excuse me, in lane number 4 goes to Honnold. Lane number 3, Anderson. Lane number 2 will be Reese, followed in behind by 5, Grinther, and then Howard. Last heat now, starting from right to left. Full house, 6 swimmers in this one. Rowan Bullard in lane number 1. Libby Price is in lane number 2. They're both 10 years old, one from Saluki, one from Parkway. Lane number 3 is Kelby Funk. She's been very strong so far here throughout the morning, and she is a 12-year-old from Saluki in lane 3. Leah DeBosch, the 11-year-old from Parkway, middle of the pool. She is in lane number 4. Isabella Zabriri, she's also been very strong. 12-year-old from Saluki in lane number 5. And then Kyra Langenstein from Saluki in lane number 6, 11 years old. Good turn on the wall. Nice underwater there for that one from Zabriri. She's lengthened out a little bit of a lead. She came in right even on that first turn with Funk, and she's lengthened it out mostly on the back of a very strong underwater and a nice turn. Funk and DeBosch battling for second place there as they go past the middle of the pool. We won't have the official times on this one, but this is by far the fastest heat. Coming back now, as Zabriri loses a little bit of steam, she will win the event. Funk right in behind her, DeBosch right in behind her, all within a second or two of each other. Fourth place in the heat will be Libby Price, followed by Langenstein and then Bullard. Now we'll go to the boys. No swimmer in lane number 5. So here for heat number 1, it'll be Elliot Bland in lane 1, Gannon Funk in lane 2, Elliot Sapp in lane 3, Seamus Smith in 4, and Jai Bist in 6. All these swimmers have been very strong so far here today. Right now, taking an early lead in this heat is Elliot Bland in lane number 1. He does not have a previously established time, nor does Bist in lane number 6. Middle of the pool, fastest preliminary time coming in was 2:12.61 from Elliot Sapp. He is in lane number 3. They'll touch the wall and come back the other way. The Sapp has now closed the gap a little bit with Bland. Elliot S and Elliot B, and now Sapp has taken the lead. 2:12.61, his previous best time. I think he's going to go well under that. Looking very strong as he gets to mid-pool. That pool gets really long when you start to see that last 15 to 20 meters here in long course. First one into the wall, and did he make a comeback? He did. It was Bland. Bland comes out 137.75. He out-touches Sapp 138.38. Well, Elliott Sapp really shattered his previous best of 138.38, but it was Bland who takes the heat, followed in behind by Bist, then Funk and Smith. Now we're going to go to the last heat here. Bottom of your screen, it's Connor Moran. He's in lane number 1 right now. He is front running. He has been extremely strong today. Fresh off the back again of that ISCA meet last month, and he is looking very, very good. Lane number 2, Cole Strom. Lane number 3 is Christopher Nelson. Tommy Fichter's in 4. Caleb Oppel is in 5, and then Mason Mollering in lane number 6. His dad told me earlier he was looking forward to this one. Favorite stroke of his. Right now, though, extremely strong. Connor Moran, lane number 1. Hanging right in there behind him is Nelson. Nelson came in with the previous best time of 125.82. We won't have that time here with us. It's not registering on the scoreboard, but nonetheless, Connor Moran is going to win yet another event. He has been extremely strong today, and the future of Parkway swimming looks awfully bright with all these young men and ladies that swam today, but he's definitely making a name for himself. As is Christopher Nelson. They come in 1 and 2, third place in that heat. Lane number 4 goes to Fichter, followed in behind in lane number 2 by Strom. Then it'll be Mollering with a nice time, and Oppel rounding things out. Folks, that's going to do it for our first session here this morning. Now, we'll have another session for us later this afternoon here. It'll be the 13 and over, so be sure to join us. I think that's going to come your way in about 30 minutes or so. We'll be right back here on the mic. Until then, we're going to take a break. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name's Matt Judkins, bringing you the action here today. Jump back on, log off, go get a snack, take a break, and we'll be back in just a little while.